Good morning. How are you today? Out on the trail, and my mind is racing, perhaps like yours, about what's going to happen tonight at the debate. We have two different kinds of speakers, two very different kinds of personalities. Frankly, one is more like a carny, some guy in a sideshow, and the other is closer to our notion of the drier, stabilizing, institutional politician. The difference is that one is full of content, in my opinion, Biden, of course, and the other is a taker and a liar and a manipulator. Trump is the showman. He will interrupt, he will make large claims, he will make false claims, he will attack Biden personally. Biden has several speeds. He had more speeds when he was younger. The two of them that I think are the most obvious are that he has this quiet, reassuring voice and his empathetic voice, that he cares. And I believe it's true, and that's why it works. That is a color of his personality that is persuasive. The other is when he is legitimately upset, like, say, how do you call our servicemen and women suckers for risking themselves to protect America? So we have really, on the first level, a contest of style, attitude, character. And a nation that's looking for reassurance of a stable movement forward and a change in which every day is not some terrible disaster. They're looking to see if Biden can carry that off in the debate, because very few people think they could stand up to Trump and argue with him. Guys like me from the city of New York, no problem. But if a guy like Cuomo, for instance, was arguing, it'd be a very different argument, because Cuomo knows the New York street way, and Biden doesn't and shouldn't go there. Now, the content of the issues is also fascinating, because we have the issues set out by Chris Wallace, and he will do them. And I think he's one of the best moderators, despite the fact that he's from Fox, to keep people closer to the facts. I think he will fact check. And I know Biden will, of course, too. But the most important fact in the first position probably will be, you're a phony, Trump. You haven't paid taxes. You've been telling us you're this wealthy guy who knows so much about business. And by your taxes, all your businesses are losing money. And it looks like there's chicanery and even criminal conduct in that you're inflating the assets. What do you have to say for yourself? He's going to say it's a hoax. Biden will get a chance to come back and talk about that. What do we do about the pandemic? Well, you're not doing anything, and it's going stratospheric. The world has now lost 1 million people to this pandemic, and most people think that's an undercount. You failed entirely. I mean, if you even tried, you'd probably be in a position where no one could defeat you. So it's almost like you want to kill Americans. As a result, business has suffered. It's not suffered because we say the remedy is to practice distancing and so forth. It happens because you tell people to go back to work without safety, because you think that people who are at work, that's a better formula for you to get reelected. You're appointing somebody to the Supreme Court, and you transparently say you want them to help you fix the election because you don't believe you can win it. So those are the kinds of issues that I think we can expect. Now, the people who worry about what Biden can do, athletes and people who deal in public, are more comfortable if they get an opportunity to practice what they're doing, if you will. Well, Biden had 11 debates in the primary, and I think he held a kind of standard that held him in good stead for something like this. Also, he will have spent time thinking about this, and so will Trump, despite the fact that he says he hasn't. And Trump can't decide whether Biden is a great debater or a guy who is unfit for office. I think he is certainly fit for office. I think Biden terrifies Trump, which is why he went to such extremes to ask the Ukraine to help him smear Biden unsuccessfully. But, he's doing it anyhow, because he was afraid when he was jumping up in the polls that he would be his opponent, and he is. So reasonable minds may differ, but it does appear that Biden is the best possible candidate for the Democrats this year, because he's also a candidate that reassures independents that he is going to stabilize America. He's going to restore the republic. He's going to put us on path to build back better, as he says. And I think that's a good slogan. Those who look at Biden and say, I don't know if he can do it, because they think, could I do it? And that's not the question. JFK had a quote that he shared with RFK during the Cuban Missile Crisis. And it was, bullfight critics row by row crowd the enormous plaza full, but there is only one who knows, and that's the man who fights the bull. Tonight, Biden fights the bull, and he wins. And anything after that is gravy. Also, the water will keep drip dropping on the misconduct of Trump. So the fact that it's an unfair election, if we go to the polls, we can overrun the tricks and deceits. All the best. Have a good day. We'll talk tomorrow about the debate. Bye-bye.